सो हेलो एवरीवन, वापस आप लोग का स्वागत है हमारे सेशन में जिसमें कि हम लोग डिस्कस करने जा रहे हैं गोल्ड मार्केट के बारे में। सो गोल्ड का मूव देख सकते हैं, लगातार तेजी के बाद वापस से करेक्शन की और 1820 तक के लेवल्स, 1820.8382 के लेवल्स और लगातार करेक्शन बनाते हुए हम लोगों ने एक पोजीशन बाय की 1823 के लेवल्स पे और दूसरी हम लोग डाउन साइड से एक और बाइंग बना रहे हैं 1821 के लेवल्स पे। उम्मीद ये है कि प्राइसेस एक बार अपसाइड राइज करते हुए दिखे। सो अगर आप लोग को मेरी आवाज क्लियर हो रही है और स्क्रीन विजिबल हो रही हो, काइंडली प्रेस 40 इन द चैट बॉक्स सो दैट वी कैन कंटिन्यू आवर सेशन फ्रॉम हियर। ओके, गोल्ड एक बार अपसाइड मूव करते हुए हमारी एक पोजीशन प्रॉफिट्स में, हम लोग इसको यहीं से पार्शियल प्रॉफिट बुक करते हुए चलेंगे। दूसरी पोजीशन देख सकते हैं 1822 1823.53 पे बाइंग है, वेट करेंगे। एटीन 22.8990 के लेवल, प्राइसेस थोड़ा सा अपसाइड मूव करते हुए। हम लोगों ने अपनी पोजीशन क्लियर कर ली है और मार्केट वापस से थोड़ी सी करेक्शन की और 1821.57 के लेवल्स पे। एक शॉर्ट क्लीन करने में आते हुए 18, 21, 22 के लेवल्स पर मार्केट मूव करती है फिलहाल मूवमेंट देते हुए। ओके 1822.8177 के लेवल्स बनते हुए। एटीन 22.6358 के लेवल्स। हम लोग आ जाते हैं अपने नेक्स्ट सेक्शन की ओर एंड हम लोग डिस्कस करने जा रहे हैं कुछ पॉइंट्स आज के लिए। So gold finally breaks free amidst S&P insanity. So points to be discussed today. So gold being stuck in a maniacal short trend, the parabolic performance of the S&P, trading gains and losses, the average number of trading days, gold's MACD finishing the week, weekly gold bars and parabolic trend. Gold hits 2-month peak on dollar retreat. So gold being stuck in a maniacal short trend. So gold after 18 weeks of being stuck in a maniacal short trend without price really going anywhere, finally broke the bonds of M word crowd by flipping too long. but not without a midweek scare. More later, not that affair. The parabolic performance of the S&P, but we begin by assessing that the stark insanity best sitting the parabolic performance of the S&P 500 plus 25% year to date. It settled yesterday, that is Friday, at 46.98, reaching 47.18 intraday, a record closing high for the seventh consecutive session. Such phenomenon has occurred, but five other times in the past 41 years. Such phenomenon has occurred but five other times in the past 41 years. The parabolic performance of the S&P across all of those years, that is from 1980 to date, what is the longest stretch of time between all-time highs for the S&P 500, that is 8 months, just over 3 years, slightly less than 6 years, all up above for your West Palm Beaches down here, none of above. So the parabolic performance of S&P, if having E, you are correct. The longest stint was almost 7 and 1/4 years from 24th March 2000, though the dot com bump up to 13 July 2007. T was the complete antithesis of current paradigm of all-time high, even single trading day. S&P 12th consecutive day. So, but wait, there is more. Those of you who were with us way back in days at Avid Trader may recall you are technically having mild, moderate, and extreme reading of both oversold and overbought condition for S&P. The price earning ratios during these 41 years that has only happened once before 36 years ago in 1985. And the price earning ratio then was a respectable 10.5 times. Today it's 5 times that much as 54.5x, easily more than double than the S&P's lifetime median PE of 20.4x. Trading gains and losses, so and still more. Every time the S&P moves from 100 points milestone to the next, this up in media, big headline deal, albeit the percentage increase comparably narrows. Nonetheless, trading gains and losses are measured by the point, not by the percentage. And from 1980 to date, the S&P has gone from 100 to now 4700. That is through 46 milestones. So the average number of trading days. So upon having just achieved the 4600 level on 29th October, the average number of trading days over these past 41 years to reach each 100 points milestone in 236. So the Federal Open Market Committee of course every trade reach a bend, if not its end. And worse, the market is never wrong. Something will the S&P uptrend. Your regular readers already know the earnings are not there to support even half, one and a half the S&P's current level. Moreover, it is said when the Federal Open Market Committee does nudge up its bank's funds rate, will be game over for the S&P. But MMB, even a rise from just 0.25% to only 0.50%, maintains a really low rate. Nominally still low, yes, square, but upon it occurring, the Fed shall have doubled the cost for every bank that comes to the borrowing window, from which one can then ask banking clientele. How is that variable rate loan working out for Ya? And thus fell the first domino and the S&P. The taper of paper. So gold has a great day yesterday in settling out the week at 1820, but as noted, was not before a midweek scare. But as noted, was not before a midweek scare, with gold volving on the taper of paper. Down at 1758, the tries and through widely followed daily moving averages, convergence, divergence, cross to negative. Gold's MACD finished the week, so such previous 11 negative crossing had averages, downside follow through of 86 point. Thus, within that technical vacuum, another run sub 1700 was placed on gold's table. What instead followed was a one-day whipsaw. Gold's MACD finishing the week with a positive cross, and even better, the weekly parabolic short trend finally being just bust per the first gold encircled dot in our weekly para graphic. Should they thus have left the building in concert with both the daily MACD bank on the positive side and the weekly parabolic again long, the door is open for gold to glide up into the 1900s towards concluding 2021. Gold hits 2 month peak on dollar retreat, so gold prices extended a rally to hit a 2 month high on Monday as a retreating dollar bolstered the precious metals appeal. Spot gold rose 0.1% to $1817.65 per ounce by 0127 GMT. Having hit its highest since September 7 earlier in this session, US gold future rose 0.3% to $1822.30. The dollar index was steady on Monday, but retreated 0.4% from more than a 1 year peak hit on Friday, lifting bullion's appeal by decreasing its cost to buyers holding other currencies. The US Congress passed $1 trillion infrastructure bill to repair the nation's airports, roads, and bridges. Bank of Japan policymakers see the need to maintain ultra easy policy as inflation is rising only modestly and wage growth remains feeble. A summary of opinions from their October meeting showed on Monday. So Bank of Japan policymakers see the need to maintain ultra easy policy as inflation is rising only modestly and wage growth remains stable. A summary of opinions from their October meeting showed on Monday. Easy monetary policy to spur economic growth during the COVID-19 pandemic have propelled gold prices to new highs over the last 2 years, as near zero interest rate cut the opportunity cost of holding non-yielding bullion. Physical coal demand in large consumer India jumped during the festival season last week. आज आते एक बार MT4 टर्मिनल पे तो देख सकते हैं गोल्ड राइज करते हुए 1820 के लेवल से 24 तक के लेवल्स बनाते हुए और हमारी पोजीशंस प्रॉफिट में आती हुई दिख रही है, तो हम अपनी इस पोजीशन को ही प्रॉफिट से क्लियर कर लेंगे। तो हम लोगों ने बेसिकली जो अपनी पोजीशंस क्लियर की है आज 3 से 4 ट्रेड लिए हमने, 3 ट्रेड बेसिकली यस। पहली ट्रेड में $286 के प्रॉफिट, दूसरी ट्रेड 178 एंड थर्ड ट्रेड $270। चार्जेस अगर हम लोग डिडक्ट करते हैं तो भी हम लोग को $434 के प्रॉफिट जनरेट होते हुए देखने को मिल रहे हैं। दैट इज अ गुड रिस्पॉन्स फ्रॉम अ शॉर्ट ड्यूरेशन ऑफ टाइम। एटीन 24.2627 के लेवल्स बनते हुए प्राइसेस थोड़ी सी तेजी के साथ। रहे थे अपने न्यूज पॉइंट पे, तो हम लोग डिस्कस करने जा रहे हैं गोल्ड न्यूज एफएक्स ट्वीट। So gold clanks to gain above 1820 as US Treasury bond yields edged lower. Gold regained its traction in the early American session and rose towards 1830 amid falling US Treasury bond yield after the data published by the US Bureau of Labor Statistics showed that the annual PPI stayed unchanged at 8.6%. The 10-year Treasury bond yield is losing more than 2% on the day. The technical confluence detector showed that the latest leg down in the gold price is seen testing strong bids at 18,422, which is the convergence of Bollinger Band one-day upper and Fibonacci 38.2% one day. The immediate downside is guarded by the confluence of the previous week's high and Fibonacci 61.8% one day at 1818. If the selling momentum intensifies, then powerful support around 1815 will be the put to test. That level is the intersection of previous month's high, pivot point 1 month R1 and pivot point 1 day S1. Further south, the Fibonacci 23.6% 1 week at 1805 will come into play. 1824, 1825 के लेवल्स। ये वापस से मार्केट 1820 के लेवल से रिकवर करती हुई 25 तक के लेवल्स बनाती हुई देखने को वापस से थोड़ी सी रिकवरी। आ जाते हैं अपने डिस्कशन पॉइंट पे। सो फंडामेंटल रिव्यूज की बात करें, सो गोल्ड प्राइस ऑफ द 2 month highs but maintains its bullish momentum as September highs of 1834 remains in sight. Gold price continues to remain underpinned by the market uncertainty over the next policy move by the Fed after Chair Jerome Powell said they are patient on rate hike as a week ago. The bright metal remains at the mercy of dynamics in the US dollar and the treasury yields as investors await the US inflation data for the next direction in gold price. So 1 week average forecasting declares 1798.50, bias is bullish. For 1 month it is 1805, and for 1 quarter 1834. So how strange gold rises on the strong payroll. So US economy added 5,31,000 jobs in October, surpassing expectations. Gold reacted in a bullish way and jumped above 1800. The October non-farm payrolls came surprisingly strong. As the chart below shows, the US labor market added 5,31,000 jobs last month, much above the expectations. So it's nice change from the last two disappointing reports. What's more, the August and September numbers were significantly revised up by 2,35,000 combined. Let's keep in mind that we also have the addition of 1,91,000 in July and 3,66,000 in August. Additionally, the unemployment rate declined from 4.8% to 4.6%, as the chart above shows. It's a positive surprise, as economics expected a drop to 4.7% in absolute manners. The number of employed people fell by 2,55,000 to 7.4 million. It's a much lower level compared to the recessionary peak. However, it's still significantly higher than before the pandemic. Implications of gold. So, what does the recent employment report imply for the precious market? Well, gold surprised over the and rallied on Friday, despite strong non-farm payrolls. As the chart below shows, the London PM fix surpasses the key level of 1800. To show gold's reaction more clearly, let's take a look at the chart below, which shows that the price of gold future initially declined after the October employment situation report release. Only after a while, it rebounded and rallied to about 1820. It's a surprising behavior as gold usually reacted negatively to strong economic data. Until now, gold liked weak employment report as they increased the chances of a dovish Fed that would continue its easy monetary policy. Well, some analysts would say that nothing has changed at all. Instead, they would tell us that the latest employment report is not as strong as it seems. In particular, the labor force participation rate was removed at 61.6% in October and has remained within a narrow range of 61.4%. In particular, the labor force participation rate moved at 61.6% in October and has remained within a narrow range of 61.4% to 61.7% since June 2020. The lack of any improvement in the labor force participation rate could be interpreted as a lack of full employment and used by the Fed as an excuse to leave interest rate unchanged for a long time. I'm not convinced by this explanation. Full employment doesn't mean that all people are working, but all people who want to work are working. And as the chart above shows, the fact that after the Great Recession, the labor participants they didn't move back to the pre-crisis level didn't prevent the Fed hike from hiking interest rate in 2015 to 19. There is also another possibility. It might be the case that investors are now focusing on inflation. The employment report showed that the average hourly earnings have increased by 4.9% over the past 12 months, raising some concerns about the wage inflation and general price pressures in the economy. Remember, context is crucial. If the new narrative is more about high inflation, gold news may be positive for gold if they also indicate a strong inflationary pressures. You see, stronger inflation concerns should increase inflation premium and bond yields. However, the opposite is true. The real interest rate declines last week, enabling gold to catch its breath. After all, the market are participating, expecting a more dovish Fed than before the announcement of tapering. This is a fundamentally positive development for gold market. Having said that, it's too early to declare that a start of breakout. If inflation stays high, this US central bank could have no choice but to hike interest rate next year. Also, although the recent jump, despite a strong payrolls and encouraging, gold has to yet prove that it can stay above 1800. आ जाते हैं अपने MT4 टर्मिनल पे तो देख सकते हैं 1825 के लेवल से थोड़ी सी करेक्शन आती है 1824 के लेवल्स देखने को मिल रहा है. आ जाते हैं हम लोग अपने डिस्कशन पॉइंट्स पे और डिस्कस करेंगे अपने गोल्ड न्यूज ट्रेडर्स. So precious gold dips as dollar edges up, US inflation data awaited. So US CPI data due on Wednesday. US slip limit losses in gold. Gold on the cusp of a breaking breakout. Analyst. Gold prices retreated from the highest level since early September on Tuesday, amid a slightly firmer dollar, as investors awaited US inflation data scheduled for later in the week. Spot gold fell 0.1% to $1822.30 per ounce by 10:17 a.m. ET, having earlier recorded its highest since September 3 at 1830.35. US gold futures fell 0.3% to $1822.70. Investors are cautious near 1830 to 35 as we have not seen able to breach that to the upside in July and August. However, a tight US labor market and the dislocation in global supply chains could result in a high reading for US consumer price driven on Wednesday. If the market sees the consumer price index number is above expectation, then the argument will certainly go back that the Federal Reserve must now hike quicker. Quantitative commodity research analyst Peter Feiting said, but the Fed is not allowing a rule book, he added. The US dollar, which gold has been tracking through the session, edged up against the rivals, making the bullion more expensive for holders of other currencies. Limiting losses in gold, yields only 10 years. Treasury yields slipped 1.4427%. Gold prices are on the cusp of breakout, TD Securities analyst said in a note. Considering the extremely poor sentiment in precious metal across the last few months, the bar is low for prices to slice through trendline resistance. Elsewhere, spot silver has declined 1.4% to $24.11 per ounce. Platinum slipped 0.9% to $1046.48, and palladium fell 2% to $2028.71. Moving back to the MT4 terminal, गोल्ड के प्राइसेस 25 के लेवल से वापस से रिट्रेस करते हुए 23 तक. एक दूसरी कैंडल फॉर्म होती है 1824.0206 के लेवल्स पे। आ जाते हैं हम लोग गोल्ड न्यूज kitco.com की ओर।
It's been a very busy data week for the markets. The Federal Reserve announced tapering of its asset purchases, and the US economy added more than 500,000 jobs in October. It looks like gold is finally starting to react, rising well above the 1800 an ounce level. Markets now seem to be pricing in a more patient Federal Reserve going forward. Here's a look at Kitco's top 3 stories of the week. At number 3, the main event was the Federal Reserve starting to taper its asset purchases in November at a pace of $15 billion per month. Since this was widely expected, the big news was actually the Fed Chair Jerome Powell acknowledging the uncertainty around higher inflation. We also saw him finally open up about what transitory inflation really means for the Fed, while also stressing that it would be premature to raise rates today.
It is our job to, and we accept responsibility and accountability for inflation in the medium term. We're accountable to Congress and to the American people for maximum employment and price stability. The level of inflation we have right now is not at all consistent with price stability. By the way, we're also not at maximum employment, as I mentioned.
At number 2, analysts are saying that gold is closer to a rally than a major sell-off. Bloomberg Intelligence sees gold stealing the show next year after building solid support at the 1700 an ounce level. The report states that the top performers of 2021 will not be the best choices for 2022 as the economy continues to normalize. And if copper and aluminum walk back their gains, gold should have a better chance to rise with bond prices. And coming in at number 1, big moves in the crypto space, with Ethereum rising to new record highs. Year to date, the token is up more than 500%. The reason for the latest rally, aside from wider adoption, is its new role as a potential inflation hedge. According to Goldman Sachs, Ethereum could reach $8,000 before the year end if it continues to track inflation expectations. The relationship to inflation is largely because of the burning process introduced with the latest Ethereum update, which was designed to handle more transactions and make fees more affordable. But now, because of the burning process, there are days when more coins are being destroyed than minted, especially when transaction activity surges on the network itself. This creates the scarcity needed to position Ethereum as an inflation hedge. That's a look at our top 3 stories of the week. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and for more headlines, check out kitco.com.
तो हम लोगों ने डिस्कस किए क्लिप, और फिलहाल देख सकते हैं गोल्ड कंसोलिडेट करते हुए 24-25 की रेंज में मूवमेंट दिखाते हुए। 1 मिनट बाद दूसरी कैंडल फॉर्मेशन देखेंगे, नेक्स्ट कैंडल का मूव किस डायरेक्शन में है। एटीन 25 1826 की रेंज में मार्केट मूव करती हुई, ये कैंडल में हमारी थोड़ी सी अपसाइड सर्च करती हुई देखने को मिली, लगातार मार्केट थोड़ी सी अपसाइड रेस करती हुई। देख सकते हैं मार्केट रुपये स्टेबल होती हुई उसी रेंज में 1825-26 की रेंज में मूव करती हुई, लेकिन मार्केट बहुत ही ज़्यादा बुलिश है। 1700 की रेंज से एक बार वापस 1800 की रेंज में मूव करती हुई इस बार काफ़ी अच्छे बुलिश सिग्नल के साथ 1830 तक के लेवल्स बनाती हुई दिखी है, और वो भी बिना किसी न्यूज़ के। तो वैसे तो 1834 तक का न्यूज़ जो था, वो मूव जो था वो न्यूज़ के बेसिस पे आता था, तभी वो शॉर्ट टर्म रहता था, लेकिन इस बार का जो मूव है वो बिना किसी न्यूज़ के आया है। तो उम्मीद कर सकते हैं कि इस बार इस हर्डल को ब्रेक करके मार्केट 1850 तक के लेवल्स दिखाती हुई देखने को मिल सकती है। 1834 के बाद नेक्स्ट हमारा जो रेजिस्टेंस होगा वो 1850 का होगा। उम्मीद करते हैं हम लोग को वो अब अपसर्ज देखने को मिल जाए। सो हमारी साइड से आज के लिए इतना ही। आप लोग की साइड से कोई भी क्वेरी हो तो आप लोग कमेंट सेक्शन में मेंशन कर सकते हैं। लाइव चैट सेशन इज ओपन फॉर यू ऑल। If there is any query from your side, you can just mention in the chat box, or else if you want me to end this session right here, kindly press 100. Two minutes left. अगर आप लोग की साइड से कोई भी क्वेरी हो तो आप लोग चैट सेशन में मेंशन कर सकते हो, और एल्स टाइप 100, ताकि हम लोग आज का सेशन यहाँ पे एंड कर सके, और वापस हम लोग मिलेंगे कल के सेशन में और डिस्कस करेंगे बहुत सारी चीजें एज यूजुअल। ओके, सो हम लोग आज का सेशन यहीं पे एंड करते हैं। आई होप आप लोग को बहुत सारी चीजें क्लियर हुई होंगी और आप लोगों ने प्रॉफिट जनरेट किया होगा। सो हम लोग आज का सेशन यहीं पे एंड करते हैं। तो थैंक यू सो मच फॉर ज्वाइनिंग एंड कंसंट्रेटिंग। हम लोग आज का सेशन यहीं पे एंड करते हैं।